Hey, do you remember that old game? I guess it was a game, right? I remember I had like a Super Nintendo. I think it was an SNES. And there was this paint game. It was like Nintendo Paint. And I thought like there was some added element to it, right? When I got it, where I was a kid, of course, and I bring it home, and I thought like, blowing shit up with paint, or it was just like throwing shit to the wall, just like throwing like this background here. Like a lot of you think I do with these videos, that a lot of you think, oh, he's putting crazy shit together. Now, we were 2 for 3 in our 3-leg NBA parlay last night. And the crazy thing about it is we were on the right side with the Nuggets covering the spread. It's just we did this too early and we didn't get the benefit of the line movement, which was Jokic out. And then, of course, that thing moved to 12.5, and you didn't have to worry about Denver at that point. They were easily going to cover. The theory in practice was there. We just got a little ahead of ourselves. So, no, this isn't me just taking a bucket and just putting it out there and throwing some shit and hoping that there's a paint streak or two that we can play off of. We were so close to hitting this. We had the right strategy. Ugh. I'm getting ripped in the Discord for my ridiculous thing. I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens type theories here, man. Let's hit it. Thumbs up, subscribe, please. You know the drill. Hey, Boston, I think this is an easy one. I'm probably missing something. The spread is moving, as you see. I'd love to play the first half here, so I would suggest that if you're seeing this later in the day and you see a number up there in the first half, it's probably going to be 4.5 to maybe 6, depending on where the spread moves. And you see it's off the board here. Look, it doesn't matter. Celtics, who's in, who's out at this point. I know Marcus Smart's the only real name that we have on the injury report. Everybody else seems to be back here, including Jaylen Brown. This Boston Celtics team has to win this game. This isn't like, oh, you lose, you're out of the... They have to. Internally, they have to. Internally, it's getting back to what they've done better than any team for such a long stretch in this league, and that's scoring points. And look, the Knicks are no longer slow it down, Bernard Hopkins boxer, which is just going to grab you. And we love B-Hop here in Philly, by the way, but that's the tactic, right? Is to just mug you and hold you and slow you down. That's not the case. This team will gladly jump up and down. As you see, this thing's moving 17.5 now. I guess somebody else thought the same. But I don't know if this total can get high enough right now. Not to the extreme we're talking about, but at 17.5, 18.5, you would think the Celtics right now are on a mission internally to score some points here. And with everybody coming back, we're not targeting one guy. We're not targeting Jaylen Brown's points, Jason Tatum's points. We're targeting the team. This can be a 2-man show. It can be a 6-man show. Malcolm Brogdon can score 25. It doesn't matter. But the point is that we're looking at one specific strategy intact here, and that's over 117.5 for the Boston Celtics. Again, I love the team total as well. Next play is going to be the Detroit Pistons. Let me tell you, though, about how you can turn $5 into $200. This is the easiest thing you're going to do right now on DraftKings, really all day. So what do I need from you? I need you to be 21 or older, live in a state where you can gamble, and if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. There's a link below. There's a QR code next to my big-ass head. Either way, it's going to bring you to DraftKings. It's going to take you 90 seconds to sign up, deposit $5, and then immediately bet that. Don't even wait. Immediately bet that $5 on Bellarmine, all right? Who cares? You don't even need to know what Bellarmine is, where Bellarmine, none of that. As soon as you place the wager, $5 turns into $200, okay? That's it. It's that simple. Again, the link, I'll bring the code back up. Next plays the Pistons plus 7.5. Hey, Brooklyn comes off a game last night where, yeah, they lose in Philadelphia and they return home, and it's not a road trip by any means, but let's look at that. They drop $133, right, in the loss. And this is all without Kevin Durant and the conversation now about, well, can they score? Yeah, that was one that we missed in the 5 for 5 with Kyrie, by all means. They had no problem scoring against a pretty good team defensively in Philadelphia. There was a lot of energy. There was a lot of just getting it out there last night, leaving a lot out there on the floor. It's still coming up short because they just weren't as good overall. They did cover, mind you, but they weren't as good overall. That was one that we hit on this video one of the legs we hit was and you should be playing these all individually, of course, on top of this smaller unit parlay, but the Brooklyn Nets now turn around and they face a Pistons team that's been shorted, but still it's just over that key number at 7.5. So will this grow? Probably not, outside of Kevin Durant returning like Bernard Hopkins, the other guy I was thinking of. I was making a reference of somebody, Bernard King. Even more so. Jeez, I got to lay off the Bernard. Lay off the Bernards, will you? Enough of that. So the Pistons, though, at 7.5, this is a team, again, it's going to hang in a game against the Nets squad that I don't think is anywhere near the offensive level of productivity that we should expect last night, especially on the second leg of a back-to-back. So Pistons plus 7.5. Last game. Let us scroll. We're going to lay the 1.5 here. I mean, we could go minus 120 on the money line for the Suns, but I think that in this case, this is a game in which the Suns can win comfortably. There are a couple of things happening here, including the expected return of DeAndre Ayton when we're doing this video. Always check throughout. Odd Shopper, of course, will constantly be updating things as they happen. But, the other part of it is the Suns have been playing well. Cam Johnson is back. That has been a major boost for them. And there is a little bit of personal history anytime these two teams play, so long as what's hanging over the Suns is how they were exited stage left last year out of the playoffs. So let's look at this again. The Celtics, the Suns have been playing well despite losing a bunch of guys, and the return of Cam Johnson coinciding that with a nice boost of productivity, both individually and from the team. They're at home. They should get Eytan back, right? So that also helps. The Mavericks, on the other hand, have lost a bunch of games. Luka Doncic has been on fire. He's been playing well. Other guys have been performing in there, stepping in and playing well too. And they've just been on the losing end of games. And it's unacceptable for a team. And a couple of guys have even talked about that publicly. So I don't look at that because it's already happened. If this is game 2 or game 3 and you've lost 2 or 3 straight and somebody steps in and is like, hey, man, we can't lose to a team like we did last night where this squad just got humiliated, embarrassed, what have you, to a team that's just going in Washington, let's say, right, to a team that's just going nowhere, then you may adhere something to that, right? You may listen to that and stick something to that and say, all right, we can bet on that. This Mavericks team, I think, is just giving themselves lip service right now, and this is a bad spot for them to come in and win this game, and that's what they're going to have to do, I think, win this by a couple of points in order to cover anything here, right, for the Suns to not cover, I should say. So this is not a 1-point game for me. This is the Suns win by 3-4 points. I'll lay the 1.5, and that's plus 595. Now, on your way out, I should remind you, of course, about the NBA Bet Pro tool. This is fantastic. On the Discord last night, I threw 2 of the plays that they had at the top. It was a Klay Thompson play and a Tyus Jones play. Steph Curry play, pardon me. Tyus Jones under his rebounds at plus 125 and Steph Curry under his assists at plus 106. BetPro told me to bet those, told me where to bet those, and through the S-Bet percentage and SEV, I knew how much to bet. It was fantastic. This was like legit the walk a horse to water and that horse is going to drink. Like, you don't have to worry about anything. It's so cool to use a proven model that we have here. And here's the thing. You're going to get a week free. A week free. So you can start your free trial right now and see how this thing rolls. 7-day free trials available right now for free users. 7 days. All right. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe. We love you. We appreciate you. Here's the QR code one more time on your way out. We'll see you.